What's up, fight fans? Hold up. I don't hear myself at all. Hold up. Why? Okay, can I hear me? All right. Let me check this out. What's up, boxing fans? Let me get settled in here. All right, hold on. Just want to check something real quick. All right, good, good, good. I could hear myself. What's up, everybody out there? We got a lot of boxing to discuss this morning. If you're tuning in here at Round One Sports Talk, don't forget to hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the Round One Sports Talk family or become a Round One Sports Talk member. Is Keyshawn Davis making a business decision, or is Keyshawn Davis avoiding Devin Haney? That's the topic at hand. And what are his options? So tune in, fight fans, lock in here for another episode. And like always, let's hop right into this episode. What's up, fight fans? Man, listen, let's talk about it. Let's talk about boxing this morning and what's going around in latest news in boxing. Right now, it seems to be that Keyshawn Davis is the talk of the town right now, and some of the decisions or pressures fighting fans are putting on the young man. Let's talk about it. Keyshawn Davis is coming off a great performance against a good fighter in Jermaine the Technician Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz went into a fight with Keyshawn Davis feeling really confident that he could beat Keyshawn Davis moving up to a new weight division. Well, that didn't work out too good for him. Keyshawn Davis definitely showed up in this fight. And I had to admit that he looked good at 140 pounds. Now, there was an altercation with Keyshawn Davis and where Devin Haney went to meet up with Keyshawn Davis. And he went to confront the young man and asked him for a potential future fight with his son, the one and only Devin the American Dream Haney. Now, um, I can see where what angle Bill Haney was going when he stepped to Keyshawn Davis. You know, I think that Bill Haney's a very smart man and he's looking for the future. He's also looking for good names to share the ring with his son that also can bring their side of the equation in fans. Keyshawn Davis won back a lot of fans with that performance against Jermaine Ortiz. Boxing is a forgiving sport, but it is a brutal sport. At times, it can be very unforgiving. But if you bring the fighting fans blood, action, knockouts, they'll love you again. And it goes to show that Keyshawn Davis is all over the place now. You know, he's riding on a high now. He has options. And when Bill Haney walked up to Keyshawn Davis and offered a future potential fight against his son, he knew when to approach Keyshawn Davis. I feel that Keyshawn Davis hasn't even gotten his feet wet at 140 pounds. You're already inviting him up more so fast. Why? Because he knows Devin Haney at this point right now. I think he, not only do I think I have Devin Haney in the fight, if Keyshawn was to fight Devin Haney would wipe him down. Yes, he would. That would be too much for Keyshawn Davis going up one way jump and fighting Jermaine. Jermaine Ortiz is not Devin Haney. Okay? As you could see with Devin Haney's success, he picked apart Brian Norman Jr. Now, Brian Norman Jr. would give Keyshawn Davis a run for his money, if not beat him. He's durable enough and he's strong enough to withstand Keyshawn's assault. And I think that he would do better in the pocket than Jermaine Ortiz did. So I wouldn't count Brian Norman Jr. against Keyshawn. I think that would be a tough fight. And Devin wiped him down. Now, I'm not going to use a triangle theory here to describe it, but I'm just presenting evidence. You have at it. You pick it apart. I presented. I reminded you of what things took place and how I feel things could occur. My opinion. Now, Keyshawn Davis took to social media and he went on a little interview. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna play it for you. We're gonna talk about what was said in the interview. Where is his options, and how do you feel about the situation? Do you think that this is a duck move, or we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Let's play right now. Where do I have it? Let's see here. Okay, I have it on. Let's go here and here, right? Okay, so we're gonna go down here, and this is the interview that Keyshawn Davis himself came out and he addressed his options. Let's play and right after it we'll discuss it.
Me right now, I'm gonna be real with
Yeah.
you. Like I'm gonna be real with both of y'all. Um, I'm in a position to where like I can stay at 140 and I
Hmm.
can just go crazy at 140. I don't have
Right.
to go up to 147 to fight none of them fighters.
Right.
I'm making the decision to go up to be great. You know what I'm saying? And as long as that respect level is there, as long as that is worth my time moving up to fight
Right.
Devin Haney, then I'm
Hmm.
gonna fight him. If it's not worth my time, Keyshawn is gonna make the right business decision so I can get in that position again, so they will respect my name. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's another champion out there. His name is Lewis Crocker. He's a 147-pound
Okay.
champion. Me and Eddie Hearns already been talking about him before Devin Haney even surfaced the platform. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And he's from the UK. So I would love to go to the UK and fight Lewis Crocker as well, before I fight Devin Haney. But
Right.
3 fights is what I want to fight this year. So once I fight Lewis Crocker, my first
Three.
147, yes,
Woo.
my first 147-pound fight, Lewis Crocker, then of course I go fight Devin Haney right after.
Mm,
Me right now, I'm
okay. All right. Okay. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about facts, right? Facts over feelings. All right. Just because Bill Haney confronted Keyshawn Davis and told him, "Give me your word that you'll fight me," did not avoid, you know, just because he said, "Hey, give me your word, you'll fight me," doesn't discredit the fact that Keyshawn himself just told you, "I was talking about a Lewis Crocker fight with Ed Hearn way before Bill Haney came into the picture." So just because Bill Haney made a public appearance and put pressure on the young man didn't mean that Keyshawn Davis was already working on other fights with him and his crew, his team, right? So Keyshawn himself told you, "I already have business with him." Just because he stepped to me doesn't mean that just because he did it publicly that he gets to cut the line. So if Keyshawn has already negotiated with Ed Hearn, with go into talks, not negotiations, just talks, verbal talk, phone calls. "Hey, I might be interested in going out to the UK and fighting your guy after I fight Jermaine Ortiz, but I got to get past this fight first." And I'm sure that future talks were gonna go. Then here comes Bill Haney, jumps in the picture, and all of a sudden says, when Keyshawn says, "Yo, I had options. I think that my options." Wait, now let's think about his options. Does it make more sense for Keyshawn if he was to go up to 147 to fight Lewis Crocker, right? Have a belt, then unify the belts with Devin. So could Keyshawn Davis be looking at it that way? Would it be wrong for Keyshawn to weigh his options, think of a more lucrative fight for the future, rather than just bulldoze his way straight there? Right? Like, this better be good. It's not. You know what I mean? So, like, when Keyshawn comes out and does this, right? Keyshawn can be very, well, I'm gonna say just all over the place, right? 1 minute, he doesn't care about the belt. He doesn't want to fight unified for a belt. He doesn't want to pay extra sanctioning fees. Remember that. Remember he said that. So you're going to try to sell me on the fact that you're going to fight Lewis Crocker. Then you're going to fight Devin Haney. Didn't you just tell me when you were the 135-pound champion that you didn't want to fight the other champion because you didn't want to unify, because you didn't want to pay any extra sanctioning fees? So if you get in that position again where you're a world champion, according to you, you don't want to fight. So when the time comes, are you going to make other excuses? Now, these are all situations I'm bringing to you. I'm reminding you of what happened. It's my job. This is what I do. I'm bringing up all these so that you can make your firm decision on what you think he's doing. I'm neither here to say that he's either right or wrong. I'm bringing you the story on what's going on. And you, the viewer, you have at it. Right? So, the last time Keyshawn Davis was in a situation where he was a champion, I felt like he let us down. Then when it got to the point where he was out there on the ledge with the champions, and we were saying, jump, dare to be great, he was holding on to the wall for dear life. He made every excuse in the world until he had his epic meltdown. It seemed like the bright lights were just too bright. The stage was too big. The pressure was too much. And Keyshawn legitimately folded under pressure as being a world champion and everything that comes with it. So when you sit there and you say, all right, Bill asked you to fight Devin, and in this world, boxing world, these boxing streets, it can be very unforgiving. A lot of people saw you said, yes, I'll fight your son. I thought at the time, okay, what was Keyshawn supposed to say when an entourage just confronted you? Microphones, cameras, all in your face. Bro, I'm not going to say anything less. What would you say? Would you say in that moment, would you start to explain yourself? Rather than saying, bro, I'll fight your son. What would you do? Tell me, you're honest. Tell me what you would honestly say to Bill Haney if you really had a negotiation with Crocker, or you really had no, you really wasn't going to fight his son. Now, you can sit there and think from the comfort of your own home of all scenarios you would have said. But that's not really what happened. When confronted in a situation, he had to react right there. Would he have told Bill, yo, Bill, I'm at 140 right now. I'll fight your son later at 147, whatever, but I'm at 140. I'm going to see what I do at 140, Bill. Then, listen, when the time comes, I'm going to whoop your son's ass. You know what I'm saying? Talk tough too. You know what I mean? Be like, Bill, I'm at 140 right now. Do my thing. You know what I'm saying? But and then, what it would have made it look bad, he'd have told Bill, yo, I'm at 140, and his next fight, he fights Lewis Crocker at 147. Either way, man, Bill Haney put that pressure on him, that full court pressure. Yeah, he did. And Keyshawn was left with like, yeah, I'll fight him. And then this. And the world's a lot of like hardcore boxing fans that are keeping track with like the fighters and what they did and what they said. Them dudes is unforgiven. They not, wait a minute, Keyshawn Davis. Oh, we seen this movie before. And they like, there's a lot of boxing fans that feel like, wait a minute, yo, you just gonna get that belt and then say you don't want to unify because you don't want to pay no sanctioning fees. That's what you're gonna do. And then isn't Louis Crocker the IBF champion with the rehydration claw? But in unification, that goes out the window. So you don't got to honor that if you was to unify. So that gets you out of that. So that would actually help you, Keyshawn. But you think he's going to want to do that? You think once he gets that belt, he ain't going to pull that same stunt he pulled in 135? And it's going to make you feel like, bro, you're avoiding Devin. If you didn't really want that smoke, you should have said, I'm not ready for him, or nah, I'm at 140. But and then it, like I said, it's going to look bad had he told Bill that, and his next fight would have been Louis Crocker at 147, which I think this is all wrong, by the way. Here at Round One Sports Talk, we talk equality, we talk boxing, and we educate each other on boxing, right? But we also advocate for what's right is right. Stop playing with boxing. We don't want these guys playing around with boxing when the shoe's on the other foot. Let me explain. When Richard Hitchens fought George Camboza and he mysteriously got a ranking in the division above, a number 3 ranking, just for they can say the IBF, that he was in the division, and Richard Hitchens would get a title defense, right? They dressed it up. The boxing world was outraged. And a lot of times we get outraged when guys come out of left field and get title fights. Ryan Garcia off of a loss, right? So we ask, don't play with boxing. But when it happens and your favorite fighter is involved, there's the double standards in boxing. Shakur Stevenson just went up and beat Teofimo Lopez. What are you talking about? He wants to go back down. So you're not gonna represent that belt? Is Scooter gonna represent or Shasi Foster is gonna represent the 135 interim belt? Is he gonna defend that? What are you doing with that belt? What would have happened if, look at Terrence Crawford, he won all the belts at 168. Did he defend them? When it's your favorite fighter, it's okay. It's okay to go up there and disrupt the line. It's okay for us to encourage Keyshawn to do what? Go all the way up to 147 from 135? That's what you want? What happens when he wins the belt? Is he prepared to defend it? It's Conor Benn jumping around all divisions, just fucking with the divisions. When there's a lot of men that have been patiently moving up the ranking. Ask them if they enjoy Manny Pacquiao skipping the line. No, that's legendary, Manny Pacquiao. It's okay that my career's on hold for another year. It's fine with us. Everybody in the division is cool with it. It's cool that Shakur Stevenson can move up from 135 and fight Teofimo Lopez for his 140. No one in the 140 pound deserves the right to fight Teo. You know what? Shakur, you got a big name. It's okay that you cut the line. That's fine with us. We're good with that. You can't say that Shakur Stevenson had the WBO claw where you can challenge the champion above that makes him your mandatory. You would have got away with that. But if I'm not mistaken, Shakur Stevenson was the WBC world champion. How'd you pull that off? But when it's your favorite fighter, the double standards, you guys don't even listen to them. But when someone comes out of left field and cuts your favorite fighter in front of them, oh my God, the outrage. We turn into Kevin Hart. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yo, like, and that's what I mean. The double standards in boxing exist. And sometimes you can fall victim of it yourself and not even realize it. In the pursuit of wanting to defend your favorite fighter, your argument, you're saying, no, he deserves it. He did this. He did that. This is why. There are different situations. No, there are just double standards. That's it. And I can be guilty of that at times myself. I got to pull back sometimes and realize, in life, I always talk about this, guys. Life, my life. As I go through my life, life teaches me life lessons. And life is unforgiving. Sometimes some of us are doomed to keep repeating that one lesson over and over again in different scenarios until we get it right. Sometimes life puts you in a situation where that in the middle of the situation, you question the very nature of what you're asking for. Life is hard, man. And I'm going to share this with you. This is a bad moment in my life. Life tapped me on the shoulder and taught me a very, very valuable lesson that I will never forget. My father was dying in the hospital of cirrhosis of the liver. They gave him 24 hours to live. He wasn't on a donor list, nothing. The doctor asked me, why should we save your father's life? He's already up there in his 50s. He was like 56, some shit like that at the time. And they gave my father 24 hours to live. They called my family from Puerto Rico, everything. And the doctor told me, basically, go down to the chapel and pray and say your goodbyes to your dad. I wandered around the hospital. I got to the chapel. I got there, I got on my knees, and I started praying to God to save my father's life. And in that moment, that's when life taught me a valuable lesson. I had to question what I was asking for. In order to save my father's life, someone else had to die. I was praying to God that someone else died with the same blood type and liver as my father. In that moment, I was messed up. I was literally praying for someone else to die and I didn't even notice it. When it hit me, what I was asking for, was I selfish? Was I selfish? Like, I stopped praying. Life taught me that lesson. It was literally like my dad was hanging off of a cliff and a stranger. Whose hand was I grabbing? Was it that easy in my head to just, as long as I don't know their name, their face, it was okay? What if they showed me the actual person? What if they showed me their life? How they were loved? Who were they? Would I have ever been cool with them? If we met, would we have shared a conversation? I didn't know what to do. 4 hours later, they got my father a liver. It was a girl. She was like 14 years old. She got into a car accident. They flew the liver in and put it in my dad. My dad lived an additional like 14 years after that, something like that. And we celebrated his birthday with hers. I never got to know her name. I didn't um it was just something in life that taught me a very valuable lesson. It sure did. Sometimes life is gonna put you in those situations, man. It's unforgiving. And business moves, the way you carry yourself, you everything. You know what I mean? As you go through life, you gotta start to recognize shit. And not always life is gonna give you that option where that it's gonna be so easy. There's gonna be sacrifices. And like that's what I do. I try to learn through my experiences, man. Just be a better person, you know? Not until you're like put into these situations that you realize shit, man. It was just a crazy moment, man. I'll never forget that. Yo, listen, Mexico's down bad, bro. Stop it. You see that Puerto Rican baseball, the Caribbean shit, that Mexican Puerto Rico first game. I know you saw that shit, right? I know you saw that shit. Stop talking. Listen, that yo, I should play that shit. Yo, that comeback, yo, that shit was legendary, bro. Mexico was up like 3-4. Ninth inning, full count, 3-2. Yo, it was like some storybook shit. Yo, Puerto Rico got up there, was like, let's get it. Yo, and then like the whole Caribbean shit, it got moved to Mexico. So y'all getting your asses whooped in 4K in your home city. Like, don't talk shit, all right? Don't talk shit. But y'all did good last night. We went down to Dominican Republic. Mexico was like fucking up like a million points to fucking when I saw it last. Did they have like 11 or some shit? I forgot what it was. Um, but I don't give a fuck about that. You know, the first game, yo, we was rocking, bro. Mexico came out strong. I was like, oh shit, 4-0. I was like, damn, fucking Mexico, right? And then and Puerto Rico just kept coming back, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Yo, that shit took me out of my seat. That was excitement right there. That was real excitement. Now I want to see like the bigger one where like all the countries come. This is like the Latin one, the little one, right? But when it's like everybody and we got like the best playing, like that right there, my friends. Oh, talk about competition. Yo, bro, the stars come out. That is the best fucking baseball I ever. That's the only baseball I really like to watch nowadays. Um, it's not like the All Star in like basketball, football, whatever, because you got like one game type shit. You know what I mean? And it seems like they're just doing flashy dunks. You know, guys ain't like they're like everybody's playing in second gear, and then they'll allow one guy to do in one gear shit. It's like I don't know, but that baseball shit is no joke, bro. That, my friends, them fucking Dominican dudes, bro. Oh, when are we just that's like the standard to beat. Like in Santo Domingo, when kids are born, they're born with like a baseball and a fucking glove. Nah, like, fuck, why are they so good, man? How did they get like that, bro? I used to know this one Dominican dude, bro. His body, he defied nature. Like, it didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like literally 5'2", 5'3". He was a little thing, man. He was like, and like, I'm not a big man, but all these baseball players, when we was on the baseball field, I used to play shortstop, second base. The way he hit the ball like if he was 6'9", 400 pounds. Bro, he would hit the ball, it would go over the trees. He was like 5'2", Dominican dude. His legs were like this big though. He had huge legs like that. Every time he hit the fucking ball. And it looked like he was not trying. If you were there, I would want you to see this. It looked like he was just out there like this. He'd just go like that. That fucking thing would go over. Man, listen. His body didn't, what he was doing didn't make sense. Like if you didn't know how size big he was, you wouldn't think he was like that small. Yeah, them Dominican dudes, they just, I don't know, man. The motherfuckers can play baseball like a motherfucker, bro. Shit. Ah, I love when we beat them. I don't like when they beat us, but I like when we beat them. They beat the shit out of us, but that's okay. But get that back in blood. Yo, what up, Anando? Salute, brother. Boricua, baby. We're Boricuas. Brave Lords. Um, yeah, man. Look, this boxing situation right here, man, with Keyshawn, like I feel like Keyshawn, he's saying the right things. It's what he does afterwards is what concerns me, and whether or not I'm on the edge of saying that he's ducking Devin Haney. Look, there are big factors here that you got to consider. Technically, they're not in the same weight division. Keyshawn's never fought at 147. So pushing the fight to him is just like Jerron Boots Ennis' situation. We couldn't call him a duck because at the time they weren't even in the same division. You understand? It's like calling Keyshawn a duck for never fighting a guy at 147. Why don't you fight somebody at 147, Devin? Then the problem comes back that what are the Devin Haney and them they're going to say? Nobody wants to fight me at 147. Okay. If none of the champions want to fight you at 147, or none of the champions in true in fact you can't get a unification fight, why don't you just fight somebody around any of the divisions in 147? Just fight somebody in your why, like it's like the phrase saying, why don't you fight somebody your size? Why are you trying to pick on the little dude? Why are you trying to like bring Keyshawn up? Keyshawn had one fight at 140. One fight. So what are you doing? And does this look good for Devin Haney as the 140-pound champion trying to punk a little champion? He's not even a champion right now, Keyshawn. So what's the big deal? Now you're avoiding. Now let's put pressure on Keyshawn. Now everything all of a sudden is on Keyshawn. Like Devin, like really? Like, nah, I'm not gonna let that go, Dev. Dev, you gotta do well. Why isn't Dev fighting Lewis Crocker? I don't know. It's like Devin Haney's name, if you haven't noticed, right, has been attached to a lot of fighters of late. Shit, I've even heard rumors of even him and Manny Pacquiao. That's how far that shit is, and when we see this with fighters, right, it's hard to unravel a lot of this shit because I know managers' jobs, your PR team's job. Your PR team is to keep your name irrelevant while you don't have a fight scheduled. If you don't have a fight scheduled and you don't have anybody in the immediate future, out of sight, out of mind type thing, when fighters don't want to say nothing and just go on vacation, the fans will quickly migrate to the next flashy thing. If you're not in the spotlight or your name is not around with any of this shit, then that's what they're going to forget about you until you pop up. Oh, yeah, who's this guy? Oh, yeah, I remember him. Like, you know what I mean? You've been gone for a year. So I've seen a lot of these promotional teams, management teams, PR teams do these kind of things. Tio is synonymous with this shit. Whenever Tio don't got to fight, bro, he starts saying the most outlandish shit. I want to fight Terrence Crawford, Jerron Boots Ennis. Matter of fact, I want to fight both of them on the Twin Towers while you have planes circling, shooting at us. That's what I want to do. Tio, he'll say the most outlandish shit, but he'll keep you engaged and in tune and talking about him. Meanwhile, he's figuring it out behind the scenes. So I've seen this shit. I've seen fighters do this. Is Devin Haney doing that to Keyshawn? Because to tell you the truth, why are you singling out Keyshawn? Why? Because this goes back to the fighter should have watched what they said. It's going to boil back down to that. When Keyshawn said, I want to go up to 147, he opened the door. He opened the door for the possibilities. Now that he opened the door, that monster came out. Devin came out and was like, hey, how you doing? He answered the door. Little Keyshawn Davis out there ringing the doorbell at the 147-pound weight division, and that motherfucker opened the door. So now the big bag bully, he gonna try to, Debo don't got to fight yet. So what is Debo doing? Debo shit. He's trying to make it look like, and he put all the pressure right on Keyshawn. Boom. Ball's in your court, homeboy. Didn't you say you was coming up to 147? Don't back down now. Back that shit you was saying. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And I'm just bringing it to you guys. Does that make Keyshawn a duck? Does it make it have business? Or is it a right business move to try to fight Lewis Crocker? Is this a ploy for Keyshawn? Have we seen this before from Keyshawn? And when he got into that position, what did he do? Is Keyshawn Davis the fighter you can back with confidence? Well, some of my favorite fighters that I choose to back, yeah, I can back that man with confidence. Yes. Do you feel the same way about Keyshawn Davis? And do you think he's not going to let you down? Remember, he didn't want to unify because he didn't want to pay extra sanctioning fees. Remember that. Before you just answer the question. Hell yeah, I'm down with Keyshawn. You see how good that boy look? Baba. We ain't say nothing about that. I ain't say anything about the way he looked, how amazing it was. Yeah, I saw that. What did he do when he got the belt? Matter of fact, where is his belt? Where's his belt? Who did he leave it with? Oh, that's right. A rising superstar in the making, and Abdullah Mason has that belt. Oh, that's right. He's doing real championship shit. About to defend the belt. I bet you he's going to make weight. He's representing as a real champion. I have faith in Abdullah. Whatever decision he decides to do, whatever direction he decides to go, he's going to go in that direction. When Keyshawn Davis was champion, he got all the way up there, and it looked like he looked down. I think he folded under pressure. So it doesn't give me, the confidence that one, he's not going to fight Shakur Stevenson. Two, I don't think he'll fight Devin Haney. But rightfully so, he shouldn't be fighting Devin Haney. And I'm not too sure that I'm willing to say, yo, Keyshawn, just because you said some shit out your mouth, you try to write a check your ass can't cash. Okay, you might have said some shit. All right. But you're not trash as a fighter. No, you're not. You're a good fighter. You just don't belong up there right now. Eventually, there will become a day where Keyshawn Davis and Devin will be ready for each other. Devin will only get so far and so good with his style and get comfortable, and Keyshawn will continue to develop as a fighter. That day will come. They're both, still young. So, as far as that fight happening in the future, oh no, there is a 1,000,000% possibility that it can happen, and there's a 1,000,000% possibility that it won't happen. We've seen time and time again where we've seen fighters on a collision course to fight each other, and they miss each other. We never see the fight. I never saw Tank Davis fight Devin Haney. I never saw Tank Davis fight Tio. I never saw Tank Davis fight Shakur. Never saw those fights. None of them. I never saw that Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney smoke. I always thought that I was going to see that. I really did. I thought I was going to see Tio and Devin. What I got was Devin and Ryan. Tank and Ryan. That's what I got. Out of all those great fighters in that fucking era, you would have thought that shit was going to pop off. You thought that this guy was going to fight him. He was going to fight him. The two losers can fight each other. The two winners can fight each other. I thought we were going to see some shit like that. And what I got was they call that a beat bag in the street. Some guy sold you oregano. You get home, try to roll that shit up. Smell like catnip. Oh, hell. You done went down there and bought that shit off Hector, didn't you? I told you. I said, Flacco, go to Flacco. Yo. And damn, that era sucked. For all that talent, we got shit. That era sucked. So that's why I say, there's a billion chances this fight can happen, a million chances it can't. There's nothing in guarantee in boxing. But I do believe that Keyshawn Davis, with the right training, if he keeps his head on straight, fuck what happened in the past. Fuck everything you said. Forget about everything. You start new. Keyshawn's right. Maybe he should stay at 140. There's a lot of big fights there at 140. And as far as fighters like Subriel Matias, a lot of these guys want to throw these guys away. You've heard them all over social media. Tio lost, he's finished, throw him out. Matias lost, he's finished, throw him. Like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Bro, I would welcome a fight with Matias and Subriel Matias and Teofimo Lopez now. That fight would be great because we always wanted to see that. It might not be for any belts, but Tio's coming off of a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, Subriel's coming off of a loss. And if you was to value their performances, Subriel Matias went out on his shield. He went out there and he slugged it out. He got knocked down, got back up, and they called the fight off. Right? But Teofimo Lopez, there's a good argument he didn't win one round. There's a real strong argument he didn't win one round. Subriel Matias won rounds against Dalton Smith and how short the fight was. It was like 2-3 or whatever, but it was back and forth. Teofimo Lopez, is it worse to get knocked out or to get embarrassed for 12 rounds straight? To be a bloody mess. Both your eyes were swollen. You had cuts. He beat the shit out of you. When you looked at Shakur Stevenson, he looked like he was ready to go to the club. In fact, they got him on videotape playing ping pong after the fight against Terrence Crawford and everybody. He didn't have a scratch on him. So for all your efforts, Tio, the great Teofimo Lopez, you couldn't put a scratch on him. At least when you looked at Dalton Smith, he was bubbled. When Dalton Smith stopped Subriel, you could see that you've been in a fight. Look at Dalton Smith's face. You were in a fight. Look at Shakur. He was in the club. Chilling. Playing ping pong. Next. Taking bets. While Tio was in an ambulance. Going to the hospital. So what was worse? Subriel got dropped. They called off the fight. Subriel was in a war. Tio was in a one-sided event. Shakur Stevenson was doing the ass whooping, and you were getting your ass whooped the entire time. My man literally was in a club like that Tio pack. We smoking on that Tio pack. So then people are going to say, no, Tio should fight someone else or Tio should fight this guy for a title. How the fuck do you figure that Tio deserves a shot at a title, but Matias doesn't? You both lost. What don't you get? If you both fight, the winner of that, you guys both have good names. Fighting other guys, go fuck around and put Tio in a tougher fight than that, and fuck around and get Tio another loss. Go ahead. I know Subriel Matias is not going to run. If Tio wants that firefight, that's going to be an amazing fight. I don't know, man, but I know I like Tio, and Tio's good for the sport. Whatever he decides to do, there's been rumors he wants to go out to 147. I don't think he should. Tio, just calm down. You lost. All right, cool. But you can still do work at 140. I think Tio and Subriel Matias, they're in that weight in their life where they're damned if they go up just one. You know what I mean? It's tough for them to make the weight that they're actually in, but they're like those fighters that are like in between. You ever had that cousin that you guys, there's like, let's say that hypothetically, there's like 5 of you cousins, and 4 of you guys have the birthday, and you guys all turn of age, and there's that one cousin that has that weird in between that, like, bro, you're fucking 10. You know what I'm saying? We're like 12. You know what I mean? But you turn 11 in the middle of us going back to 13. You're like in that weird, like, birthday. You know what I mean? You don't fit with the ages that are around you. Like, it's like that I feel for Tio. I don't think he's big enough to fuck with those guys at 147. I really don't. I think that would be a bad career decision if you ask me. Just this is my opinion. Tio can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't think he's ready for that. I really don't. And Subriel is in the same place. Subriel is a natural 140. Going up one division for him, well, Subriel, when you like you hear him talk. He said the heaviest he's ever walked around in his life was 158. If that's true, bro, that's like you out of shape, 158. That's the heaviest you ever got, and you were trying to gain weight. You can't go to 147, bro. No, you can't. No. You're too light in the ass. So those are those weird fighters, bro. And I think that Tio still has a future in boxing. Somebody was arguing with me that he'll never be a world champion again. I was like, that's a crock of shit. Opportunities come all the time for fighters. Tio could be training for one fight, and the championship fight, one of the guys get hurt. Tio gets a phone call. He happens to be in the gym. You know what? Thank you. I'll take the fight. Just like Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias was trying to go after that IBF, and out of nowhere, fucking True Warrior and Alberto Puello says, hey, Subriel, you're not doing nothing? Want to fight? I'll give you a shot at my belt. Thank you. Thank you. You're going to tell me that opportunities don't exist? How could the hell did somebody just say that Tio will never be okay? Yeah, there is a possibility that's true. He could end his career never being yeah, but to sit there and say that no opportunity will present itself for Tio, really? Anything can happen in boxing. I've seen, bro. They get the replacement. He gets injured. Like the guy that scheduled the fight, he got hurt. The replacement guy, he got hurt. I'm right here. Give him the fight. He go, boop. Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. Boop. World champion. Out of nowhere. Like, Andy wasn't in line to fight AJ. Got that phone call. Yeah, hello? Did you say 3 belts? I'm there. Yo. And then to pull it off. What the fuck? Yo, that was amazing. So I can't count T.O. out, man. Come on, guys. That's ridiculous. He'll never be a world champion again. I don't give a fuck how passionate you say it. That doesn't make it so. Opportunities can always come, man. And I'm a dreamer. You can't. Listen, I don't even count Subriel Matias out. Somebody's gonna fuck up. Hey, Subriel, you're a good scalp. I can beat you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, so opportunities are there. Teal's good for boxing. I'm glad that Shakur Stevenson humbled him. Really knocked him off that horse. Teofimo Lopez, my honest opinion, he just needs a better eye, a different eye in the camp. You know, I have your father work with you, but he has to step back and allow some coach to coach you. You got to stop allowing the coach to coach you and then your father coaching you over what the coach just taught you. You have to go through a whole training camp when your father legitimately needs to take a step back. I'm just my opinion. You've made it this far with him. It's not a disrespect to your dad. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. Just we need to implement different system. Now, if you're saying to yourself, Tio, oh, it's my fault. I didn't do what my father taught me what to do. And the father's saying, well, then had he done what I taught him, he would have been better. So, okay, in that regards, he needs a different coach because obviously he's not listening to you. So either way you slice the pie, he needs a new coach. Either way, I think Lopez Sr., you brought your son this far. Just if you want the best for your son, then step out of the way and allow your son to be taught by another master. There are a lot of styles. You've obviously taught your son the full capability of your style. Allow him to learn in different ways, different approaches. Tio is lifting his back leg and swinging it forward all night. You don't do no amateur shit like that in pro boxing, and you're still doing it, which speaks to the to how Tio got here in the first place. Raw talent, raw talent. Tio is talented fighter. That was all you seen to this point was all raw talent. Imagine Teofimo Lopez well coached. Well coached. It can still happen. You can teach an old dog new tricks. You already got a fighter such as Teofimo Lopez walking through your front door. You don't got to change him. You just got to sharpen him. That's it. He knows how to fight. And he's got a fighter's will. Shit. You got a great student right there. Teal's just got to dial in. And he's really got to get serious with this part of his career. He's going on the tail end of his career. Teal just got to like dust yourself off, baby, and let's go forward. As far as Teal's mouth antics, his personality, not a fan. Not a fan of that bullshit. But I only talked about him as a boxer. I don't talk about Teal with all the criticism and all the shit he gets himself into. I try to like block that out while I talk about him. So you'll hear me talk about Teal and you'll talk like, is this guy crazy? Does he not know that Teal's a piece of shit? No, I know he is. And I know he has been. Yes, I'm very aware of that. That's social media, his perception, his persona, like of how he wants people to view him, argue with him outside of boxing. I don't have anything to do with that. There's a line in the sand. He's been very close in the line. Yeah, he has. He's been close. And until he crosses that line for me, I'm not gonna, you know, boycott him or blackball him. You know, um, we're dealing with boxers here. Boxers say dumb shit. Like, I'm going to eat your kids. I'm going to bite your ear off. I've seen boxers say a lot of dumb shit, bro. So I'm not dealing with fucking Ivy grad students here, fucking college degree professors. No. I'm not expecting for every boxer to say the best next slick thing out of their mouth to fucking solve world hunger. No, these are boxers. And Tio says boxer dumb shit. I've seen way other boxers say some, I ain't gonna let no white boy beat me and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And come on, man. Bro, I seen a boxer try to burn my flag. I still talk about Bernard Hopkins. So if I could talk about Bernard Hopkins, when he did some shit like that, I don't think Tio crossed that kind of line. Let's just be honest. Some people's feelings are hurt, but nah, man, come on, bro. Tio's good for boxing, bro. I like watching him get his ass whooped. He's good for boxing. I liked it to see that. Sometimes you want to see the villain get his ass whooped, don't you? But when it happens, it's like, back him up. Like, nah. Let's see what Tio does. Let's see when your back's against the wall. It's the fourth quarter. It's 2 minutes on the clock. Let's see what you're going to do. What you made of, Tio. Are you going to allow this loss to eat you within and just crumble away? I'm no good. Do I still got it? And just fade into obscurity. Or fucking rise, motherfucker. Get up off your feet. You got your ass whooped. All right, cool. I got my ass whooped. So what? Right? Live to fight the next day, brother. I like Tio. Fuck it. I think he's good for the sport. I'm with him. Fuck it. I want to see him fight again. I don't give a fuck who he fight. Well, you know what I'm saying? I do that. Let me take that back. Uh yeah, there's certain fighters I would like to see him fight. Um Sabrina Matias being one of them. You know, I want to see Sabrina whoop that ass. You know what I mean? Yeah, listen, I'm competitive like a motherfucker. I'll talk you up. You know what I mean? Because I know the significance on talking up your opponent and valuing the other side in competition. I know it. And I just want to, a native island born Puerto Rico guy to whoop that ass. Really make it official. You know what I mean? Shakur did it. I'll take it. He had that Puerto Rican flag right there on the shorts, representing real proud. Right, it was right there. It wasn't all the whole trunks, but I'll take it. I'll take it. It was front and center. You know what I'm saying? There was no debating it. Wasn't no debating it like it was Miller's hairpiece. That was a hairpiece. We're not gonna debate it. Some people thought that man got scalped. Some people, did his head? I thought mad blood was gonna start coming. Wow, people are crazy, right? So, yeah, man, he whooped his ass, man. But he like Shakur was like that ass whooping he gave Tio. I gotta admit, right? It was like Shakur was actually the perfect weapon. He actually was, right? Because if you think about it, he's half black, right, and half Puerto Rican, right? So I'm not gonna argue his what he chooses to. That's what he chooses, right? Okay. So the brothers they get back because Shakur's a brother, you know what I mean? And then the Puerto Ricans, we got ours too. So he was like the perfect hitman, Shakur. But he was perfect in the sense we can say we got her get back. But in the sense of being it, like like what race could take the full credit of getting that get back, you know what I mean? It would have to be a brother, you know what I mean, or full Puerto Rican. So I was like, I want Sabrina Matias fight, you know what I mean, because he did say, put Puerto Rican fighters in front of me, I beat them easy. Tio, you said that about who? About us. He said, put them in front of me, I'll beat them easy. What was the flag on Shakur? It was right here. It was right there. Bust that ass with that flag on his shorts. I was loving it. But I'm not a hater. I like to get back. I like to talk shit. So it's part of the game. If you talking shit about us, I'm gonna talk shit back, right? Don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it. I talk shit with a smile on my face, right? I know the competition, and he wiped Teal down, bro. He wiped Teal down. He had him like this. Everybody was rejoicing. Terrence Crawford was in there. Ah, ah, ah. What's up with the bananas now? Ah, and and at the end of the day, who did you have to thank and blame for all of that? Teofimo Lopez. Does he learn from his mistakes? Does he go through life learning through his mistakes? Obviously not. Obviously not. Tio goes from one scandal to the next, to fucking disrespecting Turkey Al Sheikh, to making public apologies, to it just seems to always. But that's kind of been the story of Teofimo Lopez's life. From the amateur, he's always been that goofy kid that looks the part but doesn't act the part. He looks like us, Tio. He does. He looks like us. He just doesn't move like us. He doesn't talk like us. He's in some circles you would consider him corny. Damn, this dude's corny as fuck, right? He's not funny. He Tio is, I've always said this. He wants to be that guy that is witty, that has those one-liners. He wants to be love. Tio wants, he looks the part, they invite him in, but he can't hang with the fellas when it comes to jive talking. He can't hang in that circle. He's not, like I said, as like witty. And he's probably not like that with the women. So he comes off a bit nerdy. And when he was in the amateurs, that's how they treated him. Because his entire life, Tio has never always been the guy that said the right thing. But as soon as he's walking up, he looks like us. You're like, yo, what up, man? Like, you start off like, and then this goofy mofo say some dumb shit. You're like, right? You give him the side eye. Criminal offense side eye. You know what I mean? And that's Tio's MO. That's his story. That's been his story actually his entire life. When you hear guys talk about Tio and the amateurs, you hear the stories, everything. Tio was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer his entire thing. So knowing that, I've always just said, bro, Tio, you guys don't understand. This is the way he is. He there's something in his head that he doesn't process information before he says it. It's like he doesn't think about what he says. He just says it. He's one of those guys. And it comes out all wrong. That's Tio. That's Tio 100%, bro. So he's always going to have that. But him as a fighter, when I talk about him, I've already assessed Tio. I know what he's about. I know what he's about. I've already sized him up, his character, everything. So it doesn't really pay to argue his ignorance out of his mouth. That's on him. That's 100% on you, homeboy. I only talk about his boxing. I tried to anyway, but I explain who he is so that you get a better understanding how goofy this motherfucker is. You know what I'm saying? He's just a goofball. Tio, I swear to, like, bro, I couldn't hang with that dude, bro. I be getting pissed off, man. You instead of bringing the bitches, you're pushing them away. Like, nah, Tio, you fucking up the money, you fucking up the hoes. Like, you gotta go, bro. Like, he'd be that dude, you know? So, but yeah. Yo, what up, man? We game all night. What's up? Naldo, how you doing in the building? Y'all cracking up. Yo, man, I'm trying to tell you, like, he's just a character, but he's definitely good for the sport. And then, like, you got this Ryan Garcia card. I was talking about this Ryan Garcia card last night, man. And that looks in shaping up to be a pretty amazing card right there. There's a lot of good fights on that card. That Andy Hiroka and Gary Antoine Russell, that right there, that's the fight for me. I gotta see that fight because it's also gonna speak to where the belt's gonna be at in the division, who has the belt. A lot of people feel that Dalton Smith is gonna play keep away with that belt. He's gonna run out to the UK. We ain't gonna see that W. He's just gonna run with the belt. Um, what about Dalton Smith and Keyshawn Davis? Hmm. What if Dalton Smith stays at one? I mean, Keyshawn Davis stays at 140, right? Let's play this out. Let's just play this out hypothetically, right? Okay. So Keyshawn beats Jermaine Ortiz, right? All right. So the WBO champion is Shakur Stevenson. Keyshawn's not going to fight Shakur Stevenson. He's the number one for the WBO. Because Keyshawn was a former WBO champion, so the organization rocks with him. So you guys do know he's the number one, right? By beating one guy in the division, he already got the number one spot for the WBO, Keyshawn. But he's not fighting Shakur Stevenson. That's not happening. Dalton Smith, Eastside Pitbull Cruz got the interim. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. Yeah, I don't advocate for fighting for interim belts here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys know that. Because I think it's a trap. Once you get an interim belt, fucking Tank Davis defended that belt like 5 times. Like, you're not supposed to defend an interim belt. An interim belt was made up because the champion, for whatever reason, couldn't fulfill the obligations for the fight. So, not to keep your career on hold, you fought for an interim, and we acknowledge you have a piece of a championship. You have a piece. You're supposed to fight the champion right away. Boxing lost its mind, got these guys defending interim belts like David the Monster Benavidez. He's just picking up interim belts. He's on his way to becoming the undisputed interim champion. Like, it would have been ridiculous. So, I mean, I don't necessarily, but Eastside Pitbull Cruz is much more than just an interim champion. He's an attraction. You're going to make money with him. He's much more than that interim belt. So Keyshawn could fight him. He would have to wait for the winner of Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hiroka. The best fight in the division, Richard Hitchens, Africa, and Keyshawn. Stylistically, matchup, there's your fight right there. Richard Hitchens is going to get past Oscar Duarte. I got him in the fight. I think he's going to punch Oscar Duarte's head off his shoulders. Yes, I do. That's your fight right there. Okay, now check this out. I don't want to hear no bullshit from Keyshawn Davis. I want now, see, because this is when we start to rewind the tape. This is when we start to rewind the tape. Check it out. If Keyshawn Davis was willing to negotiate a fight with Ed Hearn and fight Lewis Crocker for the 147-pound what IBF world title, meaning there's a weight claw. If Keyshawn comes out and says, I don't want to fight Richard Hitchens because there's a weight claw on his belt, then you would know he's ducking. If you're willing to move up and fight with the weight claw, why wouldn't you be willing to fight him for his belt with the weight claw, the IBF? It would just mean that you're avoiding fighting a better fighter in Richard Hitchens, Keyshawn Davis, because he's going to become available. I look, I don't like to do it that, and I give the other fighters their respect. Yeah, Oscar Duarte, Lendolfo Delgado, though, is the number one. Lendolfo Delgado and Keyshawn Davis. The winner out of Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hiroka, 140. And that Dalton Smith, he can stay at 140. There's plenty of fight for you, Keyshawn. You don't gotta run a 147 to prove anything to nobody just to fight Devin Haney. Like, That's absurd. There's plenty of fights here for you. A lot, eh? Here's a scenario I didn't think of. Shakur Stevenson just beat Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is still technically in the ranking in the WBO. Keyshawn Davis is in the ranking in the WBO. Shakur Stevenson did that to Shakur Stevenson did that to Teo, and they're referring Keyshawn Davis as being the next, or if not in some circles, better than Keyshawn. I mean, than Shakur. They're thinking that Keyshawn is a better talent than Shakur because Keyshawn stopped his guy. Right? Okay. Another measuring standard, and a way you could definitively say that, if Keyshawn Davis was to fight Teofimo Lopez at 140, and if Keyshawn Davis can whoop Teo's ass better than Shakur, then there's your argument. Plus, it would be a good fight. See, that's why I'm saying, Teo, you don't gotta leave 147, and neither do you, Keyshawn. To run up to 147 for what? To help their division that needs names? You guys are here. You got Gary Antoine Russell, Richard Hitchens, and the newly champion and Dalton Smith. You got enough. You got a lot of other fighters. Who else? Damn. Azim lost, right? Adam Azim. Didn't he lose the other night? Yeah, he lost to that Mexican dude, right? Um, Let me look this up real quick. I got a lot of boxing in my head. For first time in a long time, I literally had like a boxing overdose. Way too much boxing. I was mixing guys' names up, everything. I'm bad enough with names, but like I just had too many um boxing shit in my head. I had so much to talk about. I try to remember so much about that when I went to talk, it fucking just like that, you know. So what was I doing? Okay, I was looking up Adam. How do you spell that? A. Fucking bitch. Azim. 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 Yes, sir. No, no, no. This kid didn't lose. This is not him. He didn't. This is not the kid I'm thinking about. These guys got similar names. The kid I'm thinking about, what's his fucking name, bro? It sounds just like that. What was his name? Hold up. I gotta find him. Now this is bothering me. Now this is bothering me. He was that fight. Somebody help me. Um, I think he fought on the Sufa card. He was like a Muslim fighter. And he was saying that he was the next, like, Batman. Like Gotham has Batman, Metropolis has Superman, and Iran has that guy, him. He's kind of smooth talker. What's that dude's name again? Like I'm like I have too much boxing in my head, bro. Um, I can't remember his name. Anyway, forget it. Let's just think of other fighters for fucking Keyshawn. I gotta look up the rankings. Arnold Barboza wouldn't be a bad fight. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad fight for Keyshawn. Right away, Keyshawn got a good star status. You can really throw him in there with a champion. Had it not been Shakur Stevenson, he'd be fighting for that WBO. He's not fighting Shakur. And then Dalton Smith. You think Ed Hearn is gonna feed Dalton Smith to? He might. He might. He might. Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown. Well, I mean, the possibilities here are endless. And I think that there's a lot of good talent in there. There's a lot of good talent in there. Frank the Ghost Martin, isn't he fighting? Right? I mean, if Frank the Ghost Martin, well, Frank the Ghost Martin, Keyshawn Davis, I'll take it. I'll take that fight. Rodolfo Delgado, I'll take that fight. And if we're not talking about champions and we're talking about the guys in the ranking at 140, there's plenty of fights for Keyshawn. You know, I could sit here all day and just think about these possibilities. It really doesn't make sense for him to go up and fight Devin Haney. It really doesn't. I understand. I broke down all the scenarios about what Keyshawn did to himself by announcing that he wanted to go to 140. He opened that door. So now the pressure seems to be on him. But, you know, him backpedaling is going to make him look bad, in which, in fact, he already did that on a video. But what he does next is really going to, like, really either the fans are going to, like, be with him or it's going to turn some fans off. Like, for instance, I gave you the version where that if he announces, I'm not fighting Devin Haney at 147, I have other plans, and he goes up and fights Lewis Crocker at 147, you could have did that with Devin. You understand? He's going to get criticized. He's going to get criticized for that because they're going to say, Bill Haney's going to come out and say, you know, you gave me your word. And Keyshawn's going to try to say, well, I already had something in the mix before you came, type shit. And we're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what's going to happen. But it's going to be up to you as a fan whether or not you believe in Keyshawn Davis, yes or no. And do you believe that the only thing he's going to do for you as a fighting fan is the possibility is all he's going to do is get one belt? If you're going to back Keyshawn Davis as a fan, just be aware and know what he's about. Don't allow him to bring you back up there and then act like you're shocked again. Keyshawn Davis, you're gonna fight to unify? No. Huh? You're gonna pay sanctioning fees? No. You're gonna fight Devin Haney? No. Then all of a sudden he turns into that guy, and you want to act like, did you see this coming from Keyshawn Davis? No. I never expected this. Psst. Yeah, he did. He just did that at 135. So just keep in mind, don't forget. And then he gets all the way up there with you, and you invested all this money into Keyshawn Davis, went out there, bought his fights, bought plane tickets, hotel rooms, supported him. Come on, Keyshawn. For him to get all the way up there again. Keyshawn, what champion you fight? Are you unifying the world title? No. Why would I do that? I don't want to pay any more sanctioning fees. I don't want to be stupid. Look what Terrence Crawford say. Do you want to fight Devin Haney? No. What? I'm at 140. He's at 147. Why would I do that now? But didn't you say to Bill that you promised him? That's what it is, man. These fighters get all the way up, and then you like mad. You sitting there like, what the fuck, Keyshawn? Just pay attention who you're choosing to back. It. I'm not saying not to. If you're a Keyshawn Davis fan, bro, lock in with the man. If you're a true fan, you would be a true fan. Win, lose, or draw, that's a real fan. No matter what they say about, you rocking with him. Why? You believe in him. I will never, ever, ever discourage one fan from stop watching their favorite fighter. Why would I ever do that? I want you to tune into boxing. If Keyshawn Davis is your guy, don't let anybody else tell you different. I'm just telling you what to expect, what not to expect. Acknowledge who you're following. That way you're not hurt. You're not hurt. You were clearly seeing who your fighter was. If most people did that with Tank Davis, they wouldn't be turning on him right now. Now, would they? Tank Davis always said, I never wanted to fight for belts. I never wanted legacy. I wanted out of poverty. I wanted the money, and I don't want to get my head punched in to get it. I'm a prize fighter, so to speak. If people would have listened to Tank Davis way back then, they wouldn't be this hurt with him now. Now, would they? Same scenario with Keyshawn Davis. I'm just trying to save you. So when it does come to you already know what Keyshawn was about. You know what I'm saying? You've heard that story. I'm not saying that Keyshawn's a snake in this story. No, don't do that. I want to tell you a story about a snake. I know that I'm talking about Keyshawn Davis, but the story only has in regards to who he was before you started fucking with him. You know who he was. When the snake bit the dude, that he was a snake on one side of the river, and the guy was crossing to the other side, and the snake told him, Mister, can you pick me up, put me over your head, and cross me to the other side? He said, hell no, you're a snake. As soon as I pick you up, you're going to bite me. He said, you know what? The snake told him, I've been getting that my whole life. It wasn't my fault I was born a little snake. I got feelings too. And I'm not a snake. I need help. I ain't got no arms. I can't swim. Just do me the solid. Pick me up and bring me to the other side with my little snake family. They in the bush. They need me. And the guy said, he heard the little snake story. He said, you know what, little snake? I think you had a bad rap. People talk about you, but you ain't no snake. Come on, little snake. And he picked him up and he went across. And when he went to put him down, the snake bit him. Sigh. Why'd you do that, Mr. Snake? And Snake looked at him and said, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up. What'd you expect? Damn, he got me. Damn it. I'm coming to see you, Gina. Damn. Snake bit you. Right? I'm not saying in that story, Keyshawn's a snake. No, don't take it in that content. I'm just saying you knew who you was rocking with before you got here. So if you're choosing to follow him, be a fan, support him, great. Just don't keep your expectations that high. He's going to end up letting you down or hurting you. And you know what I'm saying? So just view him and follow him for the fighter he is. You know, it's not easy going in this ring and looking like Jose Valenzuela after the fight. Did you see what that man looked like? That's a fight. That man was in a fight. How many more fights can he do that time and time again to his face, his brain? How many times before every time you get cut over your eye, somebody just jabs you and that splits open now. How damaged are you? You're gonna take that kind of damage, fight after, and then you know what they're gonna say after Jose Valenzuela fought that kid? Now fight the champion. Bro, did you see what this man did to his face? This guy. And now what are you like? You might want to take a little less fight and get that dub and heal up a little bit and then go fight the next. Bro, you were in a fight. And the thing is that I know about fighting, watching guys around me fight, being in a couple fights myself. I might have had one or two. And watching how these guys' face swell up the next day off of that inswell. Yo, some of these guys, bro, when they're up there and they're looking like they're bubble like, yo, what you don't see are the days and weeks after. The fighter doesn't usually show you that. Yo, that shit swells up 2-3 times more. They're like this. They're like laying in bed like this with a massive headache, and their family's trying to keep them awake. Don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. Here, sit up, drink this. You're like, yo, you're like this. Yo, that shit is terrible. Terrible, man. Oh, man. Jose Valenzuela, I know his face is bubbled the fuck up right now. Teofimo Lopez, yo, his eyes probably closed. He got the stitches on his side. He's like this. Hey, baby, how you doing? No, no, Tio, I'm over here. Oh, you're over here? Oh. He can't even see her. These fighters go through a lot, man. A lot. That shit's not easy, bro. Man. And then you're at home, right? Sometimes you get a bag, sometimes you get money, right? And when you're healing, you're at home healing, right? You're saying to yourself, I ain't never gonna do this again. Fuck that shit, bro. Look at me. I can't even see the toilet. He's peeing and shit. She's like, Tio, what? Why are you on the porch? Oh shit, wrong room. Right? And you wonder why you do this shit. Why do fighters do this? Like, sometimes the recovery is a motherfucker, bro. Man, like, and you say to yourself, man, I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm getting too old for this shit or whatever. And no sooner that you heal, you can hear the snapping of the bag, the skipping of the rope. And you're at home. I don't know. You go to put on your sneaker. And you get that whiff of that sweaty sneaker. Maybe, I don't know what you're into. You know what I mean? And fucking, it triggers you. Ding! And that little boxer wakes up again. I got to go down to the gym. One jab. I'm going to do it again. Yo, it's crazy. It's like that guy, that kid that gets drunk for the first time. I ain't going to never drink again. Next Saturday. I'm never going to do that again. Next Saturday. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Fighters go through that shit. We go through that shit, man. That shit is fucking. But when you're in it and you're on the other side of the ass whooping, it's not fun. Man, every day you got to get up, look at your girl, your kids. You know, you're inside, go outside after 4 days, the sun bothers you. You feel like that dude, my precious. Right? And I don't know why we do it. I don't know why. As soon as you hear, like, it's just like back at it. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, fight fans, listen. What's up, peace to God? How you doing? Thank you for the donation. What's up, baby? Yeah, man. Shakur's your favorite boxer right now? Peace to God. Good guy to support. Good, great boxer, man. He keeps up like this, man. You know, he's just reminding the world of the fighter that he is. You know, he just had to remind the world. Some of these fighters get this fucking stigma, you know what I mean, on them. I don't think it's fair, but like, yo, uh, yeah, man, Shakur Stevenson he's got a good chance. He's one of them that can go and have a legendary career and possibly an undefeated career. He's at the forefront for the Americans right now. I can't think of anybody else right now that is in Shakur Stevenson's position. That officially makes him. How many divisions he has belts in? Shakur Stevenson, is that 4 divisions? Because Teal's 140, right? He had one at 135, 130. No, that's 3, right? That's 3. Did he have a belt? Let me check this shit out. I got way too much boxing. Like I said, I gotta get off the air. I really gotta like depress. Trust me, guys. Trust me. It's just I can't even remember guys' records or numbers. I might have deleted some. Delete. I might have did some dumb shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they don't show the WBA titles, right? Okay. So have I ever wait a minute. How about this? There is one place that they show all the belts. There is Wikipedia. All right, where's his professional career? Amateur career. Yup. Amateur highlights. Okay, pro record. I want pro record. I pro records right here, but what about in Wikipedia though? All they have is his amateur. Okay, according to Wikipedia, Shakur Steven has only had the IBF, WBC, and a WBO, NABO featherweight title. He had the IBF interim continental flyweight title. That's not a title. And then he had the WBC Continental American Featherweight title. Hold up. Was Shakur Stevenson a phony baloney? Don't say that. No. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that. Hold on. We got to check his belts. Wait. Don't fucking do this right now, bro. IBF interim continental featherweight. Christopher Diaz, he fought. The WBO NABO featherweight. You got too many letters behind that, bro. That's not a belt. Okay, calm down. Alberto Gustava, WBO NABO featherweight. Okay, no, wait. He fought Joe Gonzalez for the WBO World Featherweight Vacant. That's a real belt. That's the real deal. That's at 125 and a half. That's a real belt. He won a belt at 126. Yes, he did. That's a real belt. So he's got a belt in 126. Shakur Stevenson. Felix, no. Jeremiah Nikita, the WBO interim. That's not a belt. That's not a belt. Jamel Herring, the WBO super. That is a belt. We got 2 belts, 2 divisions. He got a real belt at 126, and he's got a real belt so far at 130. No, those are real belts. Oscar Valdez, that's a WBC world title, flyweight title right there. And that's a motherfucking WBO world title right there. And it's the same weight division. He got 2 belts, but he only got 2 divisions. You can't count that twice. So, okay. So we're at 130. He got that against Edwin de los Santos, 135, the WBC world champion. He was already WBC one champion, 135. Who the fuck did he beat for that belt? It was vacated. And he won the belt off Edwin de los Santos. Well, a vacated belt. They fought for a vacated belt. He fought for the opportunity. That's 135. Brother, he's got 4 divisions. He's got 4 divisions. He just beat Tia. That's awesome, bro. He's on his way to being a Hall of Famer. With 4 divisions? Ooh. And a silver medal? Nah, he's a Hall of Famer already. I know, guys. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Shakur is legitimately a Hall of Famer with that 4 division shit, belt shit. Now Shakur's looking a bit more impressive. You see, you got to break this shit down, bro. You got to do your homework. You got to break this shit down. I don't go by what everybody says. I break it down. If that shit does not say just straight up real world, then you didn't. That's not a belt. He started to scare me there for a second. But you just got to look him up. Give credit where credit's due. Don't change shit because it favors your favorite fighter. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Because if you do it for your guy, you got to do it for everybody else. You would rather like change history just to get your guy to be right. It shouldn't work that way. Everybody's judged by the same standards, the same rules, the same principle and guidelines on how the belt to lay out. Although it is complicated, yes, very complicated to follow these belts. The top belt, it will be acknowledged. Not unless you're with the WBA fuckery. But anyway, and that's neither here or there. But yes, fight fans, thank you for tuning in, fight fans, today. I hope you guys had an amazing time. Yes, peace to God. Yup, like I said, 4. Yes, he is. He is 100% of 4. I just looked it up. I should have put it up on the screen so that we could all look it up together. Damn, I could still do it. You know what I mean? But let me just end this episode. If you want to, you can go to BoxRec just like I did. And it's going to show you there. See, I'm a fucking, I'm from the show me state. You guys know how I rock. It's going to come up here. Here he is. You know what I mean? Boom. And that's Shakur Stevenson right there. And just in case there's anybody out there that wants to be like, no, he's not, or yes, he is, or whatever, it's always good to lead with proof. That's all. That's all. It's always better to do that. And what am I doing here? I'm trying to click it on this screen when it's actually on this one. All right, here we go. Boop. Now, this is where it all starts. I just broke it down, so I'm going to make this real quick. All right. You see these belts right here? These are garbage. These don't count. See how it says IBF interim? See, it says it right there. It'll say the WBC. Look it. It'll tell you right here. American. Like what the fuck is it? That's not a belt. That WBO, NOBO, blah, blah, blah. You got too many letters. No, that says interim. These are not belts. You see? But that's not a belt. But this, my friend, that's a belt. That WBO World Federal, the vacant one that he won right here, what he weighed in at? 125 and a half? No, Shakur's weight right here, 126. So the 126-pound champion in WBO, that is a real world title right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's one. That's at 126. Keep going down right here. This belt right here, that it's an interim, WBO interim world title. That is not a belt. But this, my friend, with Jamel Herring, WBO super. Right there, that is a real world title. And what weight is that in? 130 pounds right here. Jamel Herring weighed in 129 and a half. That's two divisions, right? Okay. And although Oscar Valdez right here, he fought him for the WBC and WBO, which is great, but it was in the same weight division. You understand? He already won a belt at 130 with Jamel Herring. It's over with. You can't count these belts as another division. So he did win the belts, two more in the division, but that's it, right? We move on. Right here, you still same division. We're in the same division. That doesn't count. But when he fought Edwin De Los Santos, right here, when he fought Edwin De Los Santos, you can see it was for the WBC World Light Vacant, keyword vacant world title, bro. That is a real world title right there. Against Edwin De Los Santos, he won it. That's three. That's three weight divisions right there. Because this is at 135, right? Look at the weight. 134. He weighed in 133 and a half. For the 135, that's three weight divisions. And as we all know, just Saturday night, he beat Teofimo Lopez at what weight? At 140 pounds right here for his fourth weight division. And that seals the deal right there. He's a 4-division world champion. There's no arguing that. I'm not counting any secondary belts, interim belts, only world titles. He has 4 divisions. And with 4 divisions, you're going to the Hall of Fame, baby. You're going to the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to that. Tio don't got 4 divisions. Devin Haney don't got 4 divisions. Tank definitely don't got 4 divisions. As far as the young men that are doing it right now, none of them got 4 divisions. The only one that had it and he retired was Terrence Crawford. He had 5. That's it. That's the best to ever do it in our era. Just our era. His time. Don't get crazy on me. No, this guy did it. Now. That's it. Right now, Shakur Stevenson, Naoya Inoue has 4 divisions. The Japanese dude, he only got 4 divisions. Shakur Stevenson has 4 divisions, bro. You don't need all 4 belts in every division to be a division. You just need 1 belt. Naoya Inoue is probably a stronger champion. Yeah. But he matched you. So, does anybody else have 4 divisions that I'm missing here? Anybody? What is Saul? How many divisions Saul has again? I got too much boxing in my head. I'm sorry, guys. I need you guys today. This is all shit I know, right? But I'm flooded. This is all shit I would know already. I know all these answers. That's why I know I'm just I'm overpacked with boxing, guys. So listen, Tank got 4. What? Yo, piece of God. You crazy. He's not Tank. Shakur Stevenson don't even need Tank anymore. He don't need hit Tank. Tank needs him now. How about that? That's where we got with that shit. It's crazy. So, fight fans, thank you for tuning in. Another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? Round 1. We know this. So, fight fans, I'm off to the next one. After this one here at Round One Sports TV, you guys have an amazing time. was like a good day today. I'm gonna get out today, see what's up with the weather. I got the attire, and I'm already dressed for the day. So hey, fight fans, I will see you guys perhaps today at 7:30 or tomorrow morning, whichever. Let's see. Let's see how the day plays out. All right, fight fans.